Hello, this is Jamie Marriage. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to try to recreate a card that I made for my nephew's graduation. It's using some retired paper, but I wanted to show you, and it's probably gonna be a little bit different because obviously it's retired paper, so I just had little bits of it. I'm using the Sailing Home bundle, or stamp set and dies. I'm using Night of Navy, Seaside Spray, and I may use Memento, I'm not sure. For consumables, I have some Seaside Spray that I cut with the label, stitch label from a Wild Rose. I have a piece of Whisper White. This is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, but I just need it for scrap, so it doesn't really matter what size. I have two items that I've die cut from the dies. This one's out of Real Red, and this is out of Early Espresso, and they're both from the dies. Okay, then I have a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch piece of the Designer Series paper. I have a piece of Seaside Spray, which is 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. I have 3 pieces of 1 1/4 by 4 inch Designer Series paper. And then the other side of that, 4 by 5 1/4. And then this is the tricky part. This is 4 1/4 by 11. Bring in a scoring tool so you can actually see where I scored. Okay, I scored it at 5 1/2 because I want it to be the standard size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I scored it 5 1/2. I scored it 7, 8 1/2, and at 10. So this one's a little bit shorter, but that's all right. Okay, and we're going to fold them in on itself like this, and we'll put adhesive here. But first, I want to decorate. So I just wanted to show you that. And that's all the pieces. So then we'll stamp a little bit as we go. So the first thing we're going to do is take our card base. We're going to take this 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Designer Series paper, and we're going to adhere it to here. And I'm going to use wet glue, just because that's what I like the wiggle room it allows me. I like the new tapes. I just prefer to be able to slide things just the tiniest little bit if I need to. It just makes it easier. Make sure if it's a one with direction that you're going the right direction. It's going to have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around it because it is a 1/4 inch smaller than the 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 inch space. Okay, let's go ahead and mount these two together. The 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 Seaside Spray, and the 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 piece of Designer Series paper. I'll go ahead and adhere those together. Direction a little bit. I can turn the whole thing, can't I? Going again, there's that 1/8 of an inch border all the way around because it's a 1/4 inch smaller. Okay, let's set that one aside. Then on these 3 1 1/2 inch piece, it's 1 1/2. Those 3 we're going to put these Designer Series papers. And make sure you're doing it on the opposite side that you have this one on. So I'm going to flip it over. It's going to be on the opposite side. So the one closest, starting with the one closest to the long one, with a 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. That's what that one measures. Put one of these on each one of them, and again, there's that 1/8 of an inch border all the way around each section. Does it matter which way it goes? I guess it doesn't matter too much, but kind of want that to be continual. Doesn't have to be, just makes me happy that way. Okay, and I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to put glue here on this piece. I'm going to fold it up and try to, well, probably the easiest way to do it is fold this down like this, and then just fold this over on top of it. Give it a good rub. Okay, so there's that. There's the actual card. It's going to fold like this to mail. Okay, this piece is going to get mounted on here. You want to make sure you don't mount it too high so that it sticks over the top. So you just want to put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom here. Fold this up and then center up your piece where you want it to be. That's the trickiest part, because if you put it too high, then when you close your card, it's not going to fit in the envelope. Okay, so that's the basic card. Now we're going to decorate. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come in with this piece. I'll bring in a piece of scratch paper here. And I'm going to use the Seaside Spray ink pad. And I'm going to use a couple of these out of the stamp set. I'm just going to stamp a background on here. So I'm going to stamp one of these here. And let's see, what else do I want? Let's do an anchor. Here. And I'm going to take the smaller of the sailboats. Stamp that here. Okay, oops, I just stuck my finger in the ink. Then I'm going to take the Night of Navy and stamp the sentiment, set sail in the direction of your dreams. Stamp that right in the center of it. Awesome. Well, this will dry back a little bit lighter, so you should be able to read it perfectly fine. Okay, and this piece is going to get mounted here. So that'll get mounted right here. Okay. So when you open it up, it's like you'll have the picture on the front, and then sort of behind it, you'll have another sentiment, but it's still going to all kind of tie together. Okay, now, I'll bring this in, and you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and use the sailboat. On his card, I used sailboat that was left over from a paper pumpkin. It was quite a bit larger than this. I'll go ahead and try to use this. Okay, I'll stamp that in the Night of Navy. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stamp it in Memento. And I'm going to color it with some blends. Stamp that. I'm going to go ahead while I'm at it and stamp this lighthouse if I have room for it. I do, okay. And then we can decide which one we want to put on there. Or maybe both of them. Awesome. I love this stamp set. So detailed. And I'm talking quiet again. I keep catching myself doing that when I watch back my video. I apologize. Okay, so now I've got some blends here. Let me close up the Seaside Spray. I have the Balmy Blue, light and dark, and the Real Red, light and dark. Or this is Poppy Parade, but that's alright. And we're going to use this Poppy Parade to do the stripe on the boat. What you call it. And the Balmy Blue, I'm just going to do a little bit underneath it, like that. Let me die cut these out. Coordinating dies. So I think I'm going to want to cut out more, or color a little bit more of the background. Yeah, because it's going to cut this part out. But it's not going to cut out this part, so I'm going to color between the sails with the Balmy Blue. Up here in this section here. Go ahead and go around where the sail is. I know it's going to cut it out, but it's not going to probably get all the way to it. So, and then I'll go ahead and go around the edge. It's just so it doesn't look like it's floating there. Okay, I'll go ahead and cut this out, and I will be right back. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, we're going to bring this in. The boat will go in there. These other little pieces. Do something like that, I think. Try cutting out this lighthouse and adding that on there. See if I like that as well. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I think I'm going to go ahead and add this, but I need to add a little bit of coloring on here. Come in with the ivory marker and do the sand down here at the bottom. It might be water, but I think it's stone. And I'm going to go ahead and use the dark Poppy Parade. And I'm going to do a strip around here in the center. A strip up here at the top. And I'm going to go ahead and color this top little knot thing. And that's all I'm going to color. And I think I'm going to put it like that. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this on there. So I only need to put glue on the bottom half. Put a little bit of glue on the steering wheel thing. I never know what to call them. Go there. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of the boat. I can't show you the original card I made because I gave it to him. I did take a picture, I think. So I might be able to find it and insert it, but I'm not sure I know how to do that. I'm not so technical savvy. Getting better all the time, but and I think I'm going to add this back there. Tie that red going all the way around. Okay. And there's our card. Oops, I can't have that sticking out there, can I? Well, let's have to move it then, won't we? Oh, come on. Please don't tear my paper all up. You turn it. Sometimes you can get it without tearing it. I tore it a little bit. So I guess I gotta put it down here. Alright, we'll add a little more glue. That would probably be why I didn't use it in the original. I couldn't remember why I didn't use the lighthouse. That's probably why. There we go. It's still nice. There we go. And then for the back, I just took a sheet of Whisper White. Just a little bit. I trimmed it to 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. And I glued it on like that. Put a little, I'll just do it. A circle punch. So, cut a little notch out of the top. And I only put glue right along those 3 of the edges. I didn't put any glue on that top edge where I put the circle. Okay, make sure this is the top of the card. Put this on the back. Gives you a place to write. And it gives you a place to insert some monies. I'll show you what I did there. I need to get a piece of... Okay, I just took the money and I folded it in half. I'll pretend this is the money. And I took a piece of ribbon. And this is retired ribbon as well, but we're going to go ahead and use it. I looped it around the bottom of the money like that. And tuck it down in that little slot. And kind of tie it here. It's a guy card, so I probably won't put a bow. And I did put a little tag on the end, pull, so he knew, but luckily I was there to tell him to pull it because I don't think he would have noticed. There you go, there's your card. It has the little slot in the back to put a secret message or money in. And then they can just pull it out. There you go. Well, thanks for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.